I got tested a few weeks ago. I failed that test. I suffered the consequences of it instantly. But I'm grateful for the fact that happened because I've learned so much since then. And I wish I could tell you in huge detail, but the fact that this could go anywhere keeps me keeping it a secret. But if any of you ever see me in person, you can refer back to this episode and I'll surely be more than happy to tell you the full story. Now, that's a separate matter. Today, there's something I want to talk about, which is who you marry. They said who you marry is the most important decision you ever make in your life to determine where you go, how far you go, and whatnot. The reason I'm laughing is I want to know if you agree with this. As we do, this is going to be a 2-part comment. So if you agree with this, you let me know yes or no if you agree with it, right? And then when I'm done with this episode, you also let me know what you think after by responding to the comments you've just dropped. So this is my analogy. This is my thinking, my thought pattern. If who you marry is going to be either what makes you go far in life or it absolutely crushes everything, then it means marriage or your wife is a 50-50 decision. So look at it this way. Say that I'm going somewhere. From here I am now in Becca. I'm supposed to go to Victoria Island. And I already know what I'm doing. I already know what I need to do to get there. I need to get on this bus and pay this amount of money. And then by a certain time, I should be in VI. And this is if I go by myself. But then when you now tell me that there's a 50% chance that if you take this girl along on the ride, she might get you to VI faster. Like if it was going to take me 6 hours to get there, then perhaps with her it might take me 3 or 4. But also there's a 50% chance that if I go with her, maybe when we get to Third Mainland Bridge, she will come down, puncture the tire and probably throw me off the bridge. 50% chance. Does it not make absolute sense to just get there myself and then decide if I even want company at all later on? I mean, this is my mindset. I don't know what you think. So if there's another way you can spin this thing to make me understand why it is a decision you have to make when at the end of the day it's actually a risk. Somebody help me understand. So that's it. Let me know what you think. However, it is also occurring to me now that I believe people who are married do this thing where they do favoritism for other married people, Like if you want to be president or a governor, I think with politics, if you're not married, there's a certain way they look at you. Me, I just assume that, okay, they just think, well, you are prone to promiscuity, sexual promiscuity because you don't have a wife, but clearly you have to be getting somewhere. And if you don't have a wife, then you've not sworn allegiance under law to one person, which means you can have multiple partners, which is morally wrong or incorrect. And to lead a people, you cannot have that kind of lifestyle. So that's one way to look at it. Another thing would be that married men seem to be in some kind of cult. Married women, perhaps, not cult like real life, but, there's a certain type of togetherness, brother. They feel like they belong to a certain class of people, which they do. So if you're not in that class, you might get excluded from things that you feel you deserve to be involved in. So those are the benefits that I see. It is the status of the thing, not necessarily what it does for your personal job. You know what? At the end of the day, that's probably what feeds into it. That's probably what it means. But people who advertise that say it like the individual herself gives you something, like an extra oomph. And that's where I'm like, maybe I've not met, maybe I've not met. It's crazy. I might be talking from a very, very shallow standpoint. And I hope one day I come back to this episode and I'm like, God, how dumb was I? But as at this point, I'm not feeling it. So, have I made sense? Have I made you think differently? Let me see how that says under your comments. Now, back to how life has been. I really feel life has been repetitive lately, like since the last episode. This is Tuesday, by the way, and I've been due for a haircut for a long time, like 2 weeks or something. My hair is grown out, and I'm decided to keep my beard out as well now. So I'm just itching, and you know. But by the time this is out, by the time I'm listening to this, I definitely would have gotten that haircut, definitely. So that's one dope thing, because I feel I have time tomorrow. I'll get a haircut tomorrow. But aside that, work has been busy, having to go to the studio every single day. Even if I sit in the studio and do my work, everything I have to do is on my laptop. And if there is no booking at the studio, then I have time to sit and actually do some work, which is fun. I actually don't mind going to the studio. The only thing it's taking from me is my gym time early. Excuse me. Is my gym time early in the morning, which I've had to sacrifice and take away at the end of the day. So I had plans of getting buff, like this service year was the year that I wanted to get very bulky, but then the activities are just not letting me, It's like, do you sacrifice your sleep for working out? And both things are important to my health. So I believe sleep is more important than working out. If you don't sleep enough, you will die younger than if you don't work out enough. I believe so. So I just sleep, but I don't get the chance to sleep. Anyhow, I've gotten a hack. Whenever I try, I have the chance, I nap. It was never my thing. Almost throughout my 6 years in secondary school, I only did siesta twice. And they even allocated 30 minutes for that stuff. And I only managed to do it twice. And on both occasions, I was sick. So now I'm getting into it now. When I get 5 minutes, I just take a nap. And I notice that it re-energizes me. So if I feel like I have so much work today, I'm editing this video, But if I take a nap, like I did this afternoon, I took a nap, and then I've done 4 hours of editing now, and it doesn't even feel like anything. I feel like I can go another 4 hours just because I took a nap in the middle of the day. Same thing yesterday, I took a nap after doing 5 hours of work, and then I came back home, and I felt energized to do more. So I believe taking naps will help me be more productive with like the personal projects I have on the things I do on my laptop. At the studio, I've submitted the studio phone, so I'm no longer in custody of that anymore. I don't know how much I've told you guys about that whole situation, but I'm not very good with handling the accounts and responding to clients and things like that. It's not my strong suit, but I think HO has found that out and has decided to explore my strengths, which is video editing. So we shoot content and I do the editing for those contents. At least that's one way I'm adding value to the studio while managing the studio when clients come around. So I guess work is going well at this point. There was a time when I was genuinely scared for my position in that place. Everything I'm looking at is like, how would it affect the pod? How would it affect the podcast and my chances of shooting? Because if I can't think of myself shooting anywhere else aside that studio throughout this service year. And if I lose the chance to work there, it means I have to pay for my sessions. Even though I have some free time and I can use that free time to make more money. In fact, you know what? There's no fear. In fact, let me say this. Since I lost my fear of losing my job or my position at that studio, I've become more productive. Since I've been like, you know what? Anything wants to happen, let it happen. If you say, okay, don't work anymore, I'll use the free time and hustle and earn money that I will use to pay for my sessions there. So, because I had that mindset and I just didn't really care about anything else. I've been doing well. I even noticed that most of my fuck-ups come as a result of trying too hard not to fuck up. So, I've just been working counterintuitive to myself, and I've been doing a lot of learning about aligning myself in areas and being present and just like letting things come to me, attract instead of chase, and I've felt a lot more peace. For example is staying present. They say you have to staying present is like, if I'm washing plate, then I'm washing plate. Some people are washing plate, but their mind is somewhere else. And that is me. That's my life. Like, I'll be living life, but I may literally exist in my focus and everything is inside my head. That's one of the reasons why I made so many mistakes with that work phone or at work. So, but when I noticed this, one of the tricks is if you are doing this, do it. Like, if you are watching a movie, watch the movie. If you are washing your clothes, wash your clothes. Like, be fully immersed in any activity you are engaged in. And that's what I've been doing. And then notice your feet on the ground. Notice the tip of your fingers. Things like that. It's constant daily practice. And I've just been more present as a result. Because I've been doing that. So that's helping. Although today I forgot a cucumber in a drawer where I was supposed to keep the knife that I used to cut the cucumber. Weird. But Practice still. I'm still practicing. That was really funny, let me not lie. 10 o'clock has reached. I mean, at 10 minutes I've reached, and I'm still talking. Oh, one more update. I've tried to see this video editing. The person who edits my long form content for the podcast had his laptop crash, and I've had to edit the last 3 episodes myself. On top of the going to work so early and coming back late, like it's been crazy, and I've managed to pull it off. I think, from the perspective of people watching, I do so much work. I mean, I know I do so much work, but I still feel like, I can do a little more. But then it feels like my work rate is crazy to people. So I just sit in it. I just accept it, At least this is what working hard feels like. Because I know I don't have any free time to really do any nonsense shenanigans. I just thought it was normal, but it's, you know what? I'm doing too much self-soothing now, I beg. Chill. So guys, tomorrow is another day at Jordan FM. Tomorrow I'm going to ask exactly what the plan is. What is the path towards my full-time engagement in that place? Because having my Mondays cost me 3,000 naira and a journey to this such a place. I mean, it felt like a good opportunity, but then interns for 6 weeks, I've tried. Plus, I have experience already. I don't know what this internship business is. So tomorrow I'm going to get some clarity on that situation. If there is no clarity, I'll have to stop. I know if they advise my friend Walker, say, okay, your own internship in your own company, if they don't give you clarity, it means that they're trying to just use you for free. And then, in my own case, not have that. My sweet sister is calling me, guys. We have to end this podcast here. Shit. Nah. Do I choose between picking her call or ending this thing at the normal time I used to end it? What a dilemma. I'm going to decide. You know what? I think I'm going to decide in a very short time. In like 4 seconds, I'll decide. You can use Jama. I'll choose Jama over anybody.